Welcome to At Home with Peggy, but I'm not at home. I'm at Lee Turkey Farm in East Windsor, New Jersey, and this is a turkey. Now, Lee Turkey Farm has been producing turkeys since 1938, but has been a sixth-generation family farm since the mid-1800s. They're developing a new crop. Very exciting, and I want to share that with you, and the turkey. So although Ronnie has been producing turkeys for many years now, we're here for a brand new crop. We're harvesting the sun. How magnificent is that? If you take a peek at the top of the roof of the barn where the turkeys live, you can see many, many solar panels collecting the sun and providing the energy needs of Lee Turkey Farm. How's that work, Ronnie?
There's really no trick. Solar panels have been around for years, but now we're finally taking notice to them because the price of energy is so high.
It seems to fluctuate. The interest in solar energy seems to fluctuate with the crisis of energy at the moment. When energy costs are high, the interest seems to increase. I remember a big surge when we were all waiting on gas lines. What was that, in the 70s?
That's right, during the Carter administration.
So things have changed once again, and it's about time. And someone, who was it, got the brilliant idea of putting solar panels on barns.
When you say someone, the Farm Bureau, New Jersey Farm Bureau.
New Jersey Farm Bureau.
There we go.
Great organization that supports New Jersey agriculture.
Yes, they are.
And how many panels do you have on your barn?
360.
Only 360?
Yeah. I have more room.
You have more room? So why 360 then?
Well, they try to set it up so the system will cover about 90% of the total electric used on our farm.
That's an odd number. Why 90%? Why not 100%? Why not 200% so we can supply energy to other people?
Well, I'd love to do that, and all the other farmers involved would love to do that. But right now, the laws are set up as such that your provider that provides your regular electric...
like a regular company that you'd get an electric bill from, okay.
Correct. You're still hooked into them. And they are only expected to pay wholesale rate for the electric that you don't use within 12 months.
So you could actually end up paying to give them power?
Right now, yeah.
Ooh, we need to work on that.
Yeah.
Okay, but you produce enough power to run your farm?
That's correct. Well, it's not just the farm. We have 2 homes on the farm. And the farm also includes irrigation systems, 5 walk-in freezers, and 2 ice machines.
Now, I remember when we were talking about this earlier, you said that there were some additional benefits from having these panels up. What would they be? Well,
the expected benefit was the fact that during hot sunny days when everybody's a very high demand for electric, the power companies usually cut the amount of voltage or amperage that runs through your wires. Not enough that you would notice. You couldn't tell a light being dimmer or anything like that.
Is that like a brownout? Is that what they call it?
No, it's not a brownout.
Severe?
It's very minor, and it doesn't affect anything visually. But for electric motors, it's very detrimental because electric motors run much more efficiently, and they run at their peak when they have the full amount of electric.
So it can strain them and cause them to run out or die or fade away more quickly.
They'll
over
wear
time?
out a lot quicker, yes.
Well, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So you get enough energy during peak season to provide that and keep your equipment running at full efficiency?
Well, the idea is when everybody's at such a high demand, that's usually a hot, sunny day. And when it's a sunny day, this is really producing.
So do you use up everything that's produced on that hot, sunny day?
No. It actually goes through my wires, gives me what I need, and then the excess goes out through a meter and goes onto the public grid.
Okay, but wait a minute. Now I'm confused. Now, if it's going out onto the public grid, isn't that giving it back to the power company?
That's correct. But I have 12 months to reclaim it.
Oh, so like at night and in the winter when things aren't so sunny and you're running your freezers to keep your turkeys, you're using up that extra.
That's the idea.
Sort of like, you know, a balance.
Yes.
Oh, so that's how it works. Now, can anybody do this?
Yeah, as long as you have a good roof. And when I say good roof, it's got to be...
one that's not going to fall down?
No, well, that helps. You have to have one like that,
Okay.
too. But southern exposure is very critical, and no shade from trees.
Shade. So if we scan the long side of this barn, that we're looking due south, is that?
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much. And what if it was off a little bit?
Well, if it's off a little, it's not as effective because of the way the sun... There's no moving parts on these panels that follow the sun. The company Sun Farm Network that installed this, they find that moving panels are not as cost effective. It's better to have them stationary and much less to deal with in the future with problems.
Less to break down.
Correct.
Okay, so how do you know? Do they have some sort of a rating system? Do they come out and peek around and measure? How do they do that?
Well, they come out with some basic things, a compass to start with.
Oh, that's a good starting point, okay.
It's pretty easy to tell, you know, if you have sun or not, even on your own without a compass. They also want to check the pitch of the roof, you know, how flat it is or how much on edge it is. That makes a difference. And when they rated mine, they were pretty excited. It came in at 97% out of 100.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds like an A+ kind of thing?
Well, I lost 3% because my neighbors off in the distance have some woods in their backyard, and I lose probably that last 15 minutes of light every day.
Oh, kind of worth the sacrifice to get a 97, though. I mean, really, not too bad. And here's a really tough question. How much does this cost you?
Nothing. It actually saves.
Is that like a zero?
Yeah.
Like, really nothing?
Really?
You didn't have to, like, put any money up front?
No.
Or really?
Nothing at all.
How does that work?
Well, right now...
Sounds magical to me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It is to me, too, still. Right now, how it works is the company puts the system up, and they take care of all the expenses. Also, New Jersey chips in. A very high percentage of it is picked up by the state. You see, New Jersey realizes that there's more and more demand for electric in our state, and as we grow larger, they're going to need power plants.
Yeah, but nobody wants them in their backyard.
And everywhere in New Jersey is a backyard.
Pretty much, yeah.
So the idea is to have these little satellite plants all over the place, you know, where they can just produce a little extra to help them during the peak hours. And so they're also contributing into this. Now what I do is I sign a 20-year contract with Sun Farm Network, and the idea is I will buy the electric that my system produces from Sun Farm.
So you're still paying for your electric?
At a guaranteed discount of at least 10% below what I'm paying from my carrier.
So you get a discount, you provide the barn. After 20 years, what happens? They take it down?
No, it's turned over to me. All the paperwork and everything says that there's a deed and it's mine.
But is it going to work after 20 years? I mean, it'll be a 20-year-old system.
It will be older, but the fact of it is they've been using these solar panels for years, and they have some of them now that have been up for 40 years. They have found that the typical solar panel loses about 1% of its effectiveness every year, so you're looking at 80% effective.
So there's 40-year-old systems out there that are still working?
Yes.
I'd be willing to bet, just had a quick thought, that yours that went up just about a year ago probably has some advantages to those that went up 40 years ago. So
Absolutely.
You may be even in better shape than those 40-year-old systems are in 40 years from now.
They're hoping and I'm hoping, but at the worst case,
in
1%.
40 years, can we check it out? We'll come back and we'll check it out again?
I'll be here.
Okay, well, you've only been here for 6 generations. You can hobble over and we'll have a chat with your son and see how it does.
There we go.
I want you to tell me about the red boxes too. That's the last thing we want to
Okay,
cover.
the red boxes, they call those Sunny Boys. It's written on the box.
A little sexist, but okay.
And their job is to, the current that is produced through the solar panels from the sun is DC. And they have to change it to AC because it has to mimic the power that is being used in your lines. And that's what those boxes do.
And do the turkeys mind having those things on the panel, on the roof, those panels?
Oh, that's the other benefit I forgot to bring up was the fact that it has made the barn cooler. Because there's airspace between those panels and the roof. So there's a little bit of air circulation, and instead of the heat banging directly on the roof and going through and heating up the barn, it's actually being absorbed through the panels, and there's that airspace in between, and we're looking at several degrees cooler during the hot sunny days.
So the turkeys are happy.
They're happy, and then I'm happy because I'll never have to repaint that roof.
So the turkeys are happy, you're happy,
Yeah.
The community should be happy because they're getting this extra power and not getting these little minor mini reductions in power coming into their house, and we're making a dent in getting us energy independent.
Well, this is the very beginning of it, and of course the farmers have jumped right in on it, and there's a lot of farmers doing this, but it doesn't have to end with farmers. I look around and I see all those different places like Home Depots and Walmarts. They put panels on those. You look at the roof space on top of those things, and they're not shaded.
So we have a plan for the future that may truly make us energy independent.
I would hope so.
I would like to hope so too. Thanks for joining us,
You're
Ryan.
welcome.
Well, obviously, Bill wants to help tell you about these flowers that are here in the garden. It's his territory, the backyard, so I guess he has some claim to that. These beauties are a kind of Datura, sometimes called Jimson weed, and they are wild flowers and considered fairly poisonous, so I wouldn't want to nibble on them, but they've come under cultivation recently and are just more and more beautiful with each new variety that comes out. Look at the outrageous shape on this flower. It's like a double trumpet, purple on the outside, white on the inside. You can see right here is a bud that's very soon going to open. A little further along the stage of development is this one that's partially open, and you can see very clearly the flower within a flower look that it has. Very dark purple, yet it opens to this beautiful, intricate white and purple center. Just a fabulous and outrageous plant. Now I'm showing you this at this time of year because this plant can be overwintered indoors. I have another one in a container, so I'm going to show you that one now. Now this Datura gets sort of a orangey apricot colored flower that hangs almost straight down, but has the same tubular shape. You can see it's several years old because I cut it back in the spring every year, and you can see all the stumps. It does get quite tall. Unfortunately, the extreme temperatures this summer made it kind of have a panic attack, and it shed some of its lower leaves. Even so, if you look carefully, you can see it's developing its first flower bud of the season. Very often it'll produce 8 or 10 at a time, so I'm looking forward to a number of flowers before the season's end. Now this one needs to go back indoors, as does this Amaryllis and some of the other plants around me. You can see this Amaryllis is 2 different fairly large bulbs, and a third one is developing right here on the side. Now Amaryllis are enormous bulbs that can be stored indoors, forced to bloom indoors in the early spring, and again have an enormous trumpet-shaped bloom that's spectacular. What we have to do is stop watering this. It's already on the dry side. We're going to not water it anymore. Let the leaves turn yellow, cut it back, leave it dormant for approximately 60 days. At that point, we will be able to separate these bulbs into separate pots and get it started all over again. Now here we have this fabulous Tibouchina. I have shown you this one before. We do move it in, it continues to produce flowers. You can see how many buds are on here. So even though it's time to move this indoors, this great plant will allow us to have these magnificent purple flowers for much of the winter, as long as we do one thing, and we'll get to that. Here we have a beautiful poinsettia, and behind it, an absolutely stunning angel wing begonia. All these plants need to be moved indoors, and that's the trick. If we want to keep them looking good indoors, we have to begin to move them now, gradually, from this fairly bright western exposure on the porch, further and further back until they can get used to indoor conditions gradually. The better and more effective we are at doing that, the less chance we will have of all of these plants having panic attacks and dropping their leaves from the sudden change of outdoor summer conditions in New Jersey to indoor winter conditions, which are pretty dramatically different. I'm moving these to southern exposure windows where they will get even more direct sun than in this location. However, southern sun in the winter isn't much compared to any other kind of sun in the summertime, but it's the best we can do. So we will move them in gradually, first to the back of the porch, and then inside to the sunniest window we can. It'll take a few weeks to make that transition gradual. With a little luck, we'll have flowers all winter. I'm in South Brunswick in Davidson's Mill Pond Park, which is hard to say, but a beautiful place to come to. And I'm here with Bill Lubick, who is the county agricultural agent for Middlesex County, a job that I used to have that I loved. And if I had known you were going to end up here, I probably would have stayed. It's beautiful. How long have you been here? How do people get here? What are you doing? It's fabulous.
We've been here about 2 months, and the place is wonderful because we've been trying for 10 years to get out here in the open. And as you can see, as you look around us here, we're in South Brunswick. It's a beautiful location. It used to be the Tantum Farm. We're surrounded by about 300 acres. We're part of Rutgers Cooperative Research and Extension, which is an outreach arm of Cook College. And as you well know, it's basically what we do is we take information from the university out to people to help them in the real world.
Not just homeowners, but real hardcore farming.
We work with farmers, we work with landscapers, we work with homeowners. We have the Master Gardener program, of course, which reaches out to everyone, and a lot of the beauty you see around us is from work that's been done with volunteers through the Master Gardener program, as well as other volunteers that help us out as well.
I love the Tithonias behind us, and if you look through the Tithonias, you can see your new building, which is in a farm setting. That's just so incredible. Can the people come here? I mean, if they want to come, can they wander around? Can they visit you?
Oh, absolutely. We invite everyone to come out. They can drop off samples if they have a disease problem, or if they think there's a problem or insect problem, or if they want to identify a plant. They're more than welcome to drop off those samples. We also have a helpline, 398-2585, which is the helpline. And there they would have a master gardener on the other end that would start asking them questions about what type of plant material they have, and through a series of questions help them determine what their problem was. And if they couldn't determine it, they could send a sample in, and then we would take a look at it ourselves.
Are you guys still doing soil tests through here?
Well, what we do is we have the soil sample test kits.
Oh, the little bags?
Little bags, right.
I remember that.
So we actually we have soil kits here that people can pick up.
Can you mail them out too?
Yes, we can actually mail them out. So if they contact our secretary, Denise, they can get those soil test kits, and they can be mailed directly once they send a check in for those.
How much are they these days?
$10.
Hey, that's a bargain.
It's a bargain.
That's a bargain.
And really, it's the best thing to do, because when you get started gardening, or even if you're already gardening, really the best thing is to know what your soil condition is, what the pH is, what your macro and micronutrient levels are.
It's not romantic. It is not. It's not these beautiful flowers. It's not the cleomes. It's not the Tithonias. It's not the Nicotianas. But if you start out paying a lot of attention to your soil, everything else is so much easier. So this is the most efficient, most cost-effective, and really most convenient way to do that. So we're here in this wonderful garden in South Brunswick, now with Rich Weidman, who's the Program Associate in Agriculture.
Right. We have a Master Gardener program, basically adults who come into a program as volunteers. They receive about 20 weeks of training throughout the year, and in return for that training, they give us volunteer service. And part of that volunteer service is you're working out here in the gardens.
So this is a Master Gardener project, these beautiful gardens?
Right. This is a Master Gardener project working with Donna Pemberton, our program assistant, and together they coordinated this and developed these different garden areas.
So what the Master Gardeners bring is their passion.
Yes.
And their love of what they do.
They have varied backgrounds, but one thing they do have in common is gardening and love of plants, and they exchange ideas.
It's addicting, you know.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's very addicting.
I mean, I personally do a lot of gardening myself. So.
Yeah, well, you and me both. Okay, no doubt about that. So other events, like, is this a year-round thing, or
yeah,
the
we have
one-shot
events
deal?
throughout the year, and in October we're having a compost demonstration.
Hey, near and dear to my heart. Okay.
For the general public, and they can sign up. We're working with the solid waste department for that event. They also,
you know, everyone should have a compost pile.
Definitely.
There's no reason why everyone
and we
doesn't.
Actually, we have a lot of bins in the back of our new facility, and
so you
so
can
they can
show
come around
and get some
look
ideas?
get some ideas on how to do composting, and also types of bins you can use for composting.
I like a big old
purposes.
pile myself.
You can do that too. That's easy to do. You just pile it up with leaves or whatever scraps you might have from the kitchen.
Okay, so as the year progresses, do you have educational events like pretty much year-round?
Yeah, we have also events for commercial landscapers and other groups. We have a seminar. We have a facility here now. We can hold seminars for whether it's school IPM. We have
IPM?
Integrated Pest Management.
Oh, okay.
And we have the Master Gardeners also will have the classes here. We have fall classes scheduled for composting and other activities.
So it seems like the Master Gardeners are really involved in a lot of things that you've just mentioned.
And they actually go out and help give presentations.
So if somebody wanted to become a Master Gardener, let's say they have the passion, but they don't have the tools, how would they become a Master Gardener?
Well, they would just call our office, and we will send out a form with information about the program. Describes the types of classes we'll have, and they send the form back to us. And we have a orientation at the end of September. We usually start our classes at the end of September, and the main part of the course runs through April or May, and then
So it runs all winter,
Right.
and then by spring, when it's ready to plant,
Right.
then they can enhance their passion with all this knowledge they've accumulated.
Right,
And
and
then
they
get
can
down
help
and
us
get dirty. Yeah, right.
yeah.
That's when it really gets good, right?
And we really do need a lot of help, and without the help of the volunteers, this would not be possible. So it's a very important program for us in providing
Well, I think
assistance.
it's absolutely fabulous that you've been able to move out of New Brunswick and out onto a farm, only because it's so much more of an appropriate setting for what you're doing. And there was many advantages of being, in the county seat as a county office, but it just seems like this is a good fit. I wish you much luck in this facility, and I'm going to come out and wander around and visit every once in a while, if that's okay. This is a Jersey Fresh peach, a wonderful peach. I actually stood up at a meeting in Atlanta one day and was asked to identify where I came from and something about the place that I came from. And I said that I come from New Jersey, where we grow the best peaches in the whole world. And I lived to tell about it. If you've ever been in Atlanta, you will see that there are peaches everywhere, on every sign, on every license plate. Still, New Jersey peaches are the best in the world. And at this time of year, and they're continuing to be available later and later as new varieties come out, and the later ones are the sweeter ones, so don't miss those late season peaches. But when you get tons and tons, it's nice to have a few creative things that you can do with them. I've made peach melba on the show in the past, and certainly peaches on cereal and ice cream is a wonderful treat, but let's try something new. We are going to grill peaches, and they are delicious. Now, these have already been washed, and of course the later season peaches are the ones that are freestone, which means they will come off the pit relatively easily. See how that is? And I'm going to cut them in quarters, and we will cook them on the grill, and it will be a taste treat you've never experienced before. So let me finish these up, and I'll meet you by the grill. These are just the prettiest things, but they're going to be even more delicious, or at least different delicious, once they're cooked on the grill. So we've had the grill warming up. We're going to open this up. We're going to cook them on low because we don't want them so much crispy as we want them juicy and cooked all the way through. So I'm going to line these up, and I'm going to close the lid, and every once in a while I'm going to squish them down so that they get juicy, hot, a little bit brown, and all the flavor of the sugars changes just a little bit. And you will really enjoy these, so they can be served as a vegetable with the main part of the meal. This is easy, delicious, a great way to have all kinds of nutrients and fiber, not very expensive, supports New Jersey agriculture, and even your kids are going to love it. So let's close these up. We'll squish them in a couple minutes. Should take about 15 minutes for them to cook, because remember, we have them on low. We don't want them to, get charred. And I'll show you what they look like, and we'll start to eat some. Well, let's see if any of these peaches are done. We've turned them several times. We want them to be, oh, now those feel nice and soft. Let's see. Give a little bit, nice and hot. That one's done. Let's try this one. Okay, let's see. Needs a little more, a little more. Still not giving. Wait a minute. What about this one? That one feels done. Nope, not quite. Slide that one, but this little guy, perfect, perfect. We'll let the rest of these cook just a little more. Oh, they smell wonderful. Grilled peaches, a wonderful treat. Serve it next to any other kind of meat you cook on the grill in the summer, or you can even in the wintertime, if you want to, do this on like a pancake griddle. They're absolutely delicious and good for you too. Now I want you to come back and join us next time. The seasons are beginning to change, and there's always wonderful things happening here at Blooming Acres.